All right, Brett, I'm making you a GP200 guitar patch movie. First thing I did is I pressed the iMovie icon. Then I pressed create new project, followed by create new movie. Then I went through the process of picking the pictures that I was going to use, which would later appear on the timeline. Choose them in the order you want them to appear, or as close as you can get to save time. To prevent pictures from sliding around the screen like Ken Burns, you select the picture in the timeline, and then above it you'll see Ken Burns enabled. Press it so it says Ken Burns disabled. To start the narration project, there's a mic icon to the left. Just press it, and then there'll be a record button and a count in. Now for the Valeton GP200 patch itself. Okay, this one's called RJ's Black Fender. Okay, and the first bit in the signal chain is a preamp or compressor, which helps sustain things and limit how loud and how soft it gets. The compressor is also good to just keep things from getting too bombastic, like really loud and then really quiet, really loud and really quiet. Great for rhythm guitars. Also, very popular with vocals because, microphones get pulled farther from the phase, people move their heads, and that kind of thing. So compressor is your friend. I don't always use it, but it's your friend. Next up in the signal chain is a distortion box. It's a tube screamer, which gives it a little extra sustain as well, and some crunchiness and so forth. The distortion is it's a rock and roll-y kind of a thing. Hendrix used a fuzz, which is a different species of distortion. The Valeton has like 100 different distortion boxes, or 50 or some crazy number. Now for the amplifier, we have gain, volume, bass. Those little knobs below it help you control it. You can also do it in an app to do those settings. And then I press parameter, and you can see my treble setting right there. Last in my chain, besides the volume pedal, is plate reverb. There's a lot of reverbs that are really good. Time-based things in the digital world work really well. You don't really miss the analog ones at all. But anyway, plate reverb was turned on to me as Anderton's Music, which is great and fun. Music Gear Demos was doing the Valeton GP200 demo, and they were like, these British guys are all into the fucking plate reverb. Oh, a further note, for this movie, I just went and recorded and stopped the narration one picture at a time, and I stretched it into the timeline to fit if my voice dragged on farther than how the picture was originally set. Then I started sort of preempting that. What attracted me to the Valeton GP200 is all these switches. Notice the top row, I don't know if you can see it, but those buttons are higher so you don't accidentally press the bottom row. There's a lot of controls. You can see the knobs at the upper middle right, and those control all the amp parameters like right then and there. You select those buttons below those to select the effect that you want. You could also change the order in the signal chain of the effects, and it's like $300. I mean, to beat it, you'd have to spend like $1,000 like on Neural DSP or something, which has a touch screen, so you don't have to use an app to or more painstakingly use knobs to move the signal chain around, put the distortion in front or in back of the amp, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is like 300-ish. And so I thought it was like a really exceptional deal. There's this guy named Paul Bond who was touring with some big arena show with it. So it doesn't really stop you. And there's people that have been using the pod Jesus Christ, there's this other one that I don't think sounds as good as this that a lot of people have used on big stages, but there's a Fender one and the Neural DSP are the ones that have like, wow, super tube amp thick, but I don't think most people notice that. And by that time, I've switched to something else, like, and it's nice to experiment with a lot of different sounds and saving patches and customizing stuff for what you like. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.